We're excited to be continuing our series on women creating impact through ethical business. Today we're talking to Claire O'Loughlin, the founder of Ocean Remedy, a sustainable swimwear brand made in Bali and also right here in the studio in Frio. So thank you so much, Claire, for joining Fairspace today. I'm really excited to hear more about your brand and the amazing things that you're doing.
Thank you, Antonia. It's amazing to be with you.
Could you just start by telling us why your label's called Ocean Remedy?
Ocean Remedy. So my label is called Ocean Remedy because I believe the ocean is our remedy. It's certainly not that I'm the remedy for the ocean. I just feel like by protecting our ocean, we're protecting our own health. If we love something, then we'll protect it. So I want to see more people going to the beach, surfing, free diving, swimming generally, getting salty, so that they come to love the ocean. And by doing that, they're getting a health benefit straight away. But then that way you can actually come to protect what is actually the lungs of our earth, the ocean.
Claire, you've dedicated much of your career to researching and educating people on microplastics. In fact, that's how we met. You've sat on many panels that I've listened to, and I've learned so much from all the things that you've taught me, as well as so many others. What are your thoughts on the role that brands have to use their platform to champion ecological and social issues that we're facing in the world?
Right, so I actually think this is a really big and very important thing that brands should be doing. When I think of brands, I guess I think of fashion. But when I think of fashion, really what I think of is clothing. And clothing is one of those things that we have to have. It's like our food, and it's a big reason of why I entered the business. Because with so many people on this planet, all of us needing and requiring clothing, there's so much opportunity for us to actually make a difference to our to people and planet. If you think of fashion, fashion is the brands, and historically, fashion is how we present ourselves. Fashion is a statement that we make with our clothing. And it feels like in, say, the past 2 decades, some very, very large brands have emerged, and they have actually traded on a marketing style of ignorance, disinformation, and kind of almost wanting us to sleep through what they're telling us. It's like anaesthetic, almost, is what they're offering us. And I feel like we actually need a massive shift, no matter how small a brand is or how big the brand is, to actually tell people what the impact of that brand is on the planet. And by doing so, they'll have to be transparent, and then they're going to have to actually just do better. I'd rather present myself in the clothing that I wear as someone that actually does be aware and know what the impact of their choices are, and that does care about the planet. There's no one out there that would choose knowingly to be dressed by slavery, you know? And it just feels like there's just so many opportunities if we move to that kind of style of communication to almost force actual sustainability, which would be great.
So obviously your brand packs a pretty strong ethical and sustainable eco-creds. Tell us a little bit about your swimwear and the materials it's made from and where it's made and things like that.
Sure. So, you know, I'm probably, I say it all the time, I'm the worst capitalist, because even though I've got eco-cred, it never feels enough. So that's my disclaimer to start with. So, because I could sit here and I could tout to you about my eco-creds, and they're pretty good, but it never feels enough to me, and I would feel like I'm being another one of those brands that's doing all the greenwash. So there, I want that to be the first thing I say to you, because it's about education, right? But then if I want to tell you my eco-creds, I only used recycled fabrics. I'm one of 2 brands on the planet that's actually looked properly at my microplastic yield from my garments, because microplastic pollution comes from us, the wear and tear on our garments. And I just wish I could do even more of that, which is a reason that I'm even in this business, because it gives me the opportunity to do more of that. So recycled fabrics, ethical production. So the people that make my clothes, I can tell you the name of each and every one of them, you know, small team in Bali, exactly who made what. I make here in Perth, in Fremantle, to complement what they're doing, because, you know, there's never been a time where we need to look out for our clothing workers and the workers, the vulnerable people in our community more, you know, so they need the work. I have minimal waste design as a technique that I use. So I have leggings where the only leftover fabric is a hair elastic. And I say minimal waste, I'd love to say zero waste, but there's no such thing as zero waste. There's no one can achieve that. But I don't have a bin in my studio. So everything goes into my little resource storage boxes, if you like, so that can be actually used again. If you ever see me on a catwalk, I'd love it to be because I'd used every scrap of fabric out of those resource boxes to produce a show. Like, I think that would be such a more fascinating thing to see than just the standard stuff that I want people to be wearing at the beach. You know, I even use recycled thread. I can't use it in all cases because it's simply not available for every single thread that you need. But there's a lot, and there's just so many opportunities to do better. My dream piece is a completely biologically circular legging. That's what I want to be able to produce in the next 2 years, where when you've finished with it, it can go back into the compost. That I will have collaborated with an artist to actually put every single leaf on that fabric in order to produce a print that's so unique, but also in tune with nature. And when you're wearing it, you're wearing someone's art and you're wearing a little piece of nature as well. That would be incredible. And then the other dream that I have is that when we're talking about recycled fabrics, that they're actually having a social benefit as well. So where we're truly transparent. There's so much talk around circular economy, and, you know, using recycled fabrics and things is a really easy way for big brands to greenwash, but that where did those plastics really come from? You know, like, none of them have come from the ocean. Yes, we might be stopping them getting to the ocean via landfill, but there's these fine nuances that marketing terms use in order to just get you to brush off and not worry about all the other things associated, like slavery issues. I question whether we're not far off of someone making plastic bottles just to turn them into fabric. That's kind of a real potential issue that we could have. You know, like, because brands are so big, you know, just cutting out the middleman, never using that plastic bottle, going straight to the fabric, if you know what I mean. Craziness.
Well, I think you kind of answered this question in the previous one, but to you, what does true sustainable fashion look like?
So sustainability for me, with absolutely anything, it means that it can continue indefinitely. Would you agree? That's sustainability. So then, if we take that definition of sustainability, we need to work out what else is important in sustainability. And for something to continue indefinitely, it has to be good to both people and good to planet. You cannot protect the planet if you don't protect the people. We cannot ask the people that are the most impoverished to not sell their land to the multinational farmer to protect orangutan habitat, as an example. Do you know what I mean? So you cannot have poverty and environmental protection. So we need to look after the people first. That will enable us to look after the environment. We need to make then all the good choices around our fashion for the environment. And then we look at the economics of it all, because you cannot have economic stability, you know, you cannot have economic sustainability. It can't continue indefinitely if you're just going to eat up all the resources, use up all the people. It just doesn't work.
So, a personal question then. Running a sustainable and ethical business is challenging. Running a small business is challenging. What gets you up every morning and drives you pushing forward through those challenges?
Oh, the challenge, maybe. Maybe it is the challenge, because I do love a challenge. I'll never do anything the easy way, which is a good thing, because I do make the harder choice. I can see how easy it is to choose the easy choice. So thriving on challenge is really important. remembering that each little choice matters. So if you can continuously make a slightly better choice each time, then you're going to keep moving in the right direction. I'm never satisfied, whether it's in the garment design or, you know, even if aesthetically even. I always see something new that I'd like to improve on. You know, I want to improve more and more of the waste around the garment, like fabric use, etc. So, yeah, I guess lucky me, I love a challenge, I suppose. And also people, you know, I could have given up with COVID. I thought, oh, that'll be that. But actually my reversible bikini resulted from that. Like, my collections are so tiny, right? But when I contacted the guys that do the making for me in Bali, you know, they don't work for me, I'm their client, and everyone had pulled the pin. And I just thought, okay, well then I can do something. You know, the risk to me is so much less than the risk to them. So that can motivate you too. Working for others, that's a great motivation, isn't it? And look at your kids. Oh my God, I want them to see the same wonderful things on this planet as we've been able to see. Everyone, and their kids too, yeah.
As you've identified in this interview, as a consumer, it's a minefield. What are your top 3 tips for consumers when searching for a more sustainable way to consume fashion?
Yeah, what a great word, minefield. And it should be a mind field, right? Yeah. Mindfulness, consuming consciously. I think that's the first thing, is conscious. The second thing is there's so much stuff already here that second-hand is not second best. It's fantastic. And the stories in clothing are amazing, you know, even if someone has worn it before you. So the op shopping scenario. But when you are op shopping, I think it's really important. Even then, I still think that who made it is important, because even if we allow those big brands that don't care about the people that made their stuff to unload on op shops, we're still part of that system. So do think still about who made it, value their work, and think about what it's made from. Unless it needs to be synthetic, you're better off in natural, and so's the planet. Every time, every time, every time. But I think it's really important to think about valuing other people's work, because that also goes across to, can you repair it? Or pay someone properly to repair it. Are you happy to do that? Value that person's work too. Wouldn't it be nice to see more garment alterations and repair shops around? And actually that's what really excites me about having my own making here, is that I can repair stuff too, which is, it's a really cool feeling.
Where can we buy Ocean Remedy products?
Oh goodness, see, so now you're asking me to be a capitalist again.
I am.
I feel uncomfortable with it. Come see me in my shop. Come see me in my shop and feel the warmth. Let me show you the work that goes into it. Let me tell you about the happy hands that made it, you know, about Juju and Topic and Riri. You know, or let's talk and see if I can make, you know, it might be, you might want their top, but you might need a slightly different bottom that I can make for you. So you could do that in Freo, right here in Freo. Or of course I do have a website, and I'll let you Google that, because I feel so capitalist even saying it. What a shocker, I'm so bad.
And you've got an amazing Instagram page, Ocean Remedy.
I have a cute Instagram page, and I love to educate. And actually, but I love doing that in person, so I love these conversations. You know, after you being here with me today and us having this chat, pity the customers that come in this afternoon, because I will be on full environmental rant.
Excellent. We need it. We need it. We need you, Claire. Thank you so much. You really are an inspiration to me, and I really appreciate that you're carrying fair space product in your beautiful shop. And yeah, keep doing the work that you're doing. Thank you so much, Claire.
I could not be prouder than to have fair space product in my shop, Antonia, and you are my ethical queen. Thank you so much.